we've just completed our first year living aboard a boat. We spent the time in the Mediterranean. We went to more than 100 ports. We had so many beautiful anchorages, friends, family on board.
And today we're doing a year in review. So we're going to talk about all of the places we visited this year and answer some questions that have been provided to us by a friend here on the dock to answer some questions about things you maybe don't know about on the boat.
I'm Michelle, and this is Chris, and that's Mr. Gidget. We traded our 9-to-5 and hometown comforts for a life of adventure and spontaneity. This is not just our journey, it's yours too. Let's explore together. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you never miss an episode.
And so we've been filming all year. If you've been following along, you've seen a lot of our episodes. There's a lot of stuff that we filmed this year that hasn't come out yet on YouTube. So this is kind of a little preview for sort of what's to come on our channel for 2026.
Some spoiler alerts for early next year.
It's gonna be awesome. Okay,
Fun. Okay,
we have questions.
so we have prepared some questions.
Yeah.
And Chris and I are going to ask each other the questions. So, what's a minute you would like to relive from our first year aboard the boat?
A minute I'd like to relive from our first year aboard. I think the most magical moment we had this year was definitely the very first sail on the boat.
Yeah, out for our first sail.
Yeah, first sail time. It was like, it wasn't a glamorous sail. There was no wind. It's kind of crappy weather, but there's just something special, like a special high that you can never really repeat of going out on the boat on your very first time. It's a very, very magical moment, I think.
Agreed. When I read this question, I was like, oh, it's got to be the first sail.
Okay, question number 2.
Okay.
Where did the vibe flip from passage to party?
Ooh, Ibiza.
Ibiza. that was an easy question.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, we had our friends on board. They flew into Barcelona, and we're going to do a whole episode on our sail out to the Balearics. We visited Mallorca, which was gorgeous. But one of the highlights of the trip was heading out to Ibiza and having a good time with our friends. And there was definitely some moments that our parents shouldn't see, but
They will see it anyways.
we're going to put them on YouTube anyways.
Yeah.
So
No, we didn't do anything too crazy. To note, I think every time that we had guests on board, it flipped from daily routine to something more fun. But this was really where it like flipped to party.
yeah.
Yeah. Where did tying up feel like arriving in a small city that you never wanted to leave?
I think there's one that sticks out in my head,
Yeah.
and I think it was Port Vell in Barcelona.
Oh yeah, but we visited it 3 times.
It's the only like port that we pulled into that felt like you're pulling into like a 5-star hotel. There's so many ports where it's like you feel like you're camping and you just need a hookup for the night. But Port Vell, it's a different level of class over there. Okay,
So much fun. Okay,
next
question
question.
4.
Which stopped tested our patience and process the most?
Ooh, this probably was sailing with my parents in Capri
Yeah?
because we lost a engine belt.
Oh yeah.
And so that was a really interesting day because the day kept challenging us. So we had just been in queue to get the Blue Grotto.
Right?
And we were definitely not being prioritized as a sailboat because all of the like paid tours that were coming from Capri were getting priority. So we had kind of like ditched our plan to do the Grotto, and we were sailing around the backside of Capri and our engine belt went.
We just got going. We've left the Blue Grotto, and Michelle?
We blew a belt. So patience, absolutely. So we had to just like slow right down, do a repair and process. Chris was at the helm, and patience, just like taking the time, thinking it through. Thank goodness my dad was on board, so he was able to help navigate some things. And yes, using tools that you're not used to using. So when did the boat demand absolute calm under pressure, and what shifted to the wind?
The day that we were going through the Strait of Messina, and probably one of the most dangerous places in the Mediterranean because of the way the current shifts and the changes in the salinity, and we were going through the Strait of Messina, and for the second time the other fan belt went.
Yeah.
And we're now in the Strait of Messina with one engine.
Yeah, and we we did not have a spare part. It was waiting for us in our next port.
And of course, we hit a cross current and the boat started like turning around and going the backwards way through the strait. And I got it cranked all the way over and I cannot for the life of me straighten it out. And so I remember what we had to do was I had to put the one engine in reverse and turn the wheel all the way over to try to straighten the boat out the right way. And as soon as we had it,
we had to undo the foresail.
Michelle's in there ripping out the foresail. And we got just enough wind to like straighten us out, heading out of the Strait of Messina.
Thank goodness. It was not a place to turn around.
No.
It was not a place to, oh, we're going to start over. So we just kept going and that was it.
So it was nerve-wracking for a while. And then as soon as we figured it out, we were like celebrating our sailing victory in the Strait of Messina.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What plan did we nearly cancel and what pulled us back to go? I got one in mind. Okay. And the one I'm thinking about was we almost did not scale the active volcano.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like on our mind for a couple weeks and we kept going back and forth.
Like, should we go up the volcano? It was erupting.
Yeah, I was more worried about like, can we actually get there?
So we're going to have a whole episode coming out this year. That's going to be us going around the active volcano on the boat.
Yep.
And then like drop an anchor and going up there to see what's going on. It was very cool.
What day forced us to choose between living it and filming it?
Probably one of the craziest filming days I think we had was when Bally Catamarans, the boat builder, flew us out to Cannes.
Oh.
And it was like most of the time we're on the boat and it's like we're kind of casually filming and we're filming when we think things are interesting or fun or whatever. But it was like when we flew into Cannes for the yachting festival, it was like I feel like we had a filming plan where it was like there was scheduled interview time and there was photo shoots and we were interviewing other people and then we had to see the boat show. And if you didn't see the episode, it turned out really great. I'll pin it up here and I'd recommend you check it out if you haven't seen it yet. How does a budget swing reinvent the way we see a city?
Yeah, this is a great question. So depending on what is in the city, we become more tourists than visitors. And we've done this in places like Ortija, where we rocked up to Ortija and we instantly booked a tuk-tuk tour.
That was really cool.
And that was really cool. I didn't honestly realize we were coming up to such a cool city. So it flipped from being just like a visitor in Italy doing our normal things to, oh no, we're actually being a tourist. So that was really cool. We
just had a really cool day in Brindisi, Italy.
That's right.
We challenged ourselves to see the city on a €20 budget. Mm-hmm. Most importantly, it means our accommodations tonight are zero. We are parking for free. And then in a few days from now, we're going to contrast that because we're heading up to Verona and we're going to do a €1,000 day in Verona. This is so cool. Look. That's the Colosseum. We saw real gladiators over there.
Kind of just showing the highlights of what you can do with different amounts of money. Which off-the-water detour changed the tone of the trip? On the way into this anchorage, I was telling Chris that we were really close to
Sartano,
where his mom was born.
A little village.
Yeah, and I said, it's just over the mountain range. Like we're literally parallel to where your mom was born today. And it was just one of those like, hey, we were just talking about it.
What made us realize home can be a place we've never lived?
Well, I've moved a lot, so I felt like this already. I knew that the boat was gonna just like instantly feel like home as soon as we settled in. How did you feel about that question?
One of the cool experiences we had this year was apparently I had family like outside of Milan, and my parents actually flew out for the experience. But we went and we like reconnected with like some of my Italian family in like Biella, Italy.
So we arrived in Loano.
Yeah.
And we had the most amazing experience.
So many great experiences.
Just with the people on the dock, the vendors in town. Everybody was amazing. Then we met our family.
Yeah.
And
who were just like over the top nice.
We had one big dinner with the whole extended family.
Yeah.
And it was so lovely to see everybody out, and they were just so excited to see us.
Che fai con quel musetto lì?
Oh,
yeah.
That's nice.
Oh,
isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Che fai? fai?
Say ciao a YouTube.
What is the most magical anchorage and why? Not just the view.
Not just the view.
Not just the view. So the one that came to my mind initially was the one in Eze that you guys see every time you watch a video. It's the one where Chris does the drone flight all the way around.
Yeah,
the boat.
the evening shot.
And Eze was beautiful.
Yeah, Eze was beautiful in France.
Yeah.
I really liked it. We spent the summer kind of around the Amalfi Coast. We did Portofino and Capri and
Sorrento.
Yeah, and there's something about like the Italian boating culture in that part of the world that was really sort of special.
3, 2, 1, go!
This house of memories. Take my picture now. Shake it till you see it. And when your fantasies become your legacy, promise me a place in your house of memories. I think of you from time to time, more than I thought I would.
What restaurant would we recommend to a crew with only one night in town?
Which town?
Right, there's so many. We had so many great restaurants this year.
Christmas, we were in
Bayeux-sur-Mar, outside of Nice.
Yeah, and they had a restaurant called
African Queen.
and it was wonderful.
Yes.
We ate
We
there.
had Christmas dinner at African Queen.
We did, and we ate there a couple of times outside of that, and the regular menu was amazing.
Yep.
But they do special menus for holidays.
I also think about Senequer was on one of our videos in
Right, in
Saint-Tropez,
Saint-Tropez,
a
yeah.
very iconic restaurant.
That's right.
Apparently the moose comes with a warning here. It might be too big for two people to share. It's like a giant bowl.
What did you do?
I think about in Cannes, we had lunch at
The Le Mont Plage.
La Mont Plage, which was awesome.
Awesome.
We made a friend. Alex, say hi to YouTube.
Hi.
Off the coast of Sicily, we got a new paddle board,
Oh yeah.
and the three of us, me, Michelle, and Gidget, paddle boarded to this really fancy beach club called By Murray, and that was the meal was great.
They were great.
But we literally pulled up to it was a restaurant party,
Yeah.
and we pulled up on a paddleboard, and they had he was like a 70-year-old DJ, and
Oh,
he was
yeah.
mixing some sweet beats. We had some great meals with our family this year.
We did. It's a place called Live.
Live or Live
Yeah, we're not sure. Live.
outside of
Sushi.
Tropea.
Yeah, it was recommended to us by the hotel, and it was fantastic. They
Yeah.
did a great job. It had a beautiful sunset. We have the photo we might share in the video.
Yeah. When we were in Marseille this year, we took Gidget in for birthday dinner,
Oh yeah.
and we went to, was it called the Queen Victoria?
Yeah, it's a British pub in Marseille, right on the main square. We took-
Gidget ordered his own steak.
Yeah.
And the staff brought it out, and they sang him happy birthday,
Yeah.
and he just went to town on that thing. He was one happy birthday puppy. The staff came out ready to sing him happy birthday or something. It was the funniest thing. They love him so much here. Another restaurant that I'd absolutely recommend if you're off in Mallorca is Restaurant Elita, which is on
Yeah.
its own little island off the coast of Mallorca, and there's a little people bridge. You walk over there and from the beach.
Yeah.
And it's just the picturesque setting
Yeah.
was just gorgeous.
Oh, what gear punched above its weight and what was a waste? So I have a good bad one.
Yeah.
We got a steam mop when we were in France. And I was really excited about this. It was one of my wish list things from back home was a steam mop, and it died. It died because it's made for your house, not made for the boat.
Our coffee pot died.
That's right, French press.
Right.
But it also was glass and broke.
The one that irks me is after just a couple weeks being on the boat, our boat hook blew off the boat into the water in an evening storm. We got the top line boat hook and we lost it, so we replaced it.
Yeah.
And then we were in Marina de Stabia, and the gas station attendants stole our second boat hook.
Borrowed it and then didn't return it.
Yes.
Yes.
And the marina gave us a really crappy old boat hook in replacement, which was our third boat hook. And then like 2 days later, we were using it to push, and it bent in half. So the third boat hook got put in the garbage. So we're now on our fourth boat hook in 1 year. So I don't know why we keep replacing them at this point.
I think the item that pushed above its weight was the electric engine for the dinghy. I hate the smell of fuel. I hate the smell of gas. And so for me, having the electric dinghy engine was amazing.
The one item that I'm really impressed with on the boat, I think, has been the Starlink. How fast and reliable it is. Like we had like 1 or 2 outages. Yeah, we had 2 outages this year. There was one global outage, and then we had one, there was like a thunderstorm came through, and we lost internet for a little bit.
But not every thunderstorm.
Right.
So it was just really specific right above the Starlink.
But it's been really reliable and durable on the boat. So I've been really impressed with that.
Yeah.
One thing boat life fixed in our old routine, and one thing made harder.
So initially, one thing it fixed was slowing us down.
Yeah.
We were way too fast in our prior life.
Well, we had very stressful careers and...
Right, yeah. But everything was like, do it now, do it quick, and get it done properly.
Yeah.
And not that getting it done properly has to change, but slowing down and just being like, okay, what can I actually achieve in a day? And what's reasonable?
Yeah.
I really enjoy that.
Like when we first quit our jobs, I remember going out and taking Gidget for a walk. And that like literally that experience of like touching grass for the first time in a while, where you just get to like sit there and like look at the city, and like it's like it kind of like was like, oh, this is really special. This is a luxury, because I was so used to sitting at a desk all the time. And now like being on the boat, it's like every day, like there's no grass out here. Every day you just get to chill and sit and enjoy the sunrise.
Oh, and one thing that made it harder, not having a car. Being in a town and not having a car made it very hard. So like outfitting the boat, for example, but even just daily life. So like we're really lucky here in Ravenna. The grocery store is like right here, literally, like just off the dock. Most of the time it's quite far away. Like it could be like a kilometer or 2. And when you think like a kilometer or 2 to walk is not that big a deal, but to carry everything back for a week of groceries is quite a big deal, because you don't know when the next grocery store is going to be.
Right. Okay, next. We're not done yet. We're not done yet.
We're not done.
Yeah. There is a lightning round. And every question in the lightning round is worth a point. The loser has to clean the boat.
Oh, well, that's normal.
Okay, the lightning round. Everything's got to be quick questions and quick answers. Okay, here we go. I'll go first.
Okay.
Biggest first time this year?
I don't know. First paddleboard from the boat? I don't know.
I think it was the first sail.
First sail. Okay, that's the right answer.
1 point for me.
Okay. Which non-sailing day gives you the goosebumps?
What about when we went to Milan and we caught the AC Milan football game at San Siro Stadium?
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Gale warning takeaway in 1 sentence.
Ooh, thank goodness for Starlink. No. Favorite 10 seconds of drone footage?
I think the Amalfi Coast. We were there for the Ferrari party that night.
Oh, yeah.
And they had the whole city lit up in red. Favorite sailing destination on the Ballycat space?
Ooh, Mallorca.
Mallorca.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
Yeah, gorgeous.
We got to go back.
Yeah. What do you double check right before leaving the dock?
I look at the lines on the water because they got caught in the way too many times this year. That's the problem. What is that?
Sorry? Guess what's underneath the port engine?
Which tool saves the day the most often?
The boat hook.
The boat hook. Which maintenance task do you secretly enjoy?
Oh, I love polishing the stainless steel.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have a whole process for polishing the stainless. Right now we're dealing with a little bit of rust, so I go around and do the rust first, and then I wipe that off and add the stainless steel polish. And yeah, it just, the boat looks so sparkling all the time. What B-roll do you wish you captured more often?
Which B-roll? Like when I'm filming.
Yeah.
The one shot that's like hard to get and I wish I had like a lot more of is those like drone sailing shots of our own boat.
Oh yeah.
Because you need a
So
good
hard.
sailing day,
Yeah.
and
And it's hard to land the drone back on the boat.
yeah, when you're flying the drone.
Mhm.
Yeah, we didn't lose a drone doing that.
No,
We
but-
lost drones in other ways. What budget habit quietly saves the most?
Ooh, to me, I shop the sales, but I remember like this summer I got pasta in Pisa.
Oh yeah, and when she says she got pasta, she got pasta.
Yeah.
The final lightning round question. This is it.
What promise do we make to ourselves for next year in one sentence?
We promise to continue to make awesome content and keep it coming
More consistently.
in 2026.
Woo!
It's going to be a thing.
Okay.
You can hold us to that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to let Michelle take the win for that one. That means she has to clean the boat later.
We knew this was gonna happen.
It was destined to be.
Chris doesn't even know where the cleaning supplies are.
Okay, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for subscribing. Have a great Christmas. Happy New Year. And more to come in 2026. Okay, bye, everyone.
In your house of memories.
As the sun sets on another episode, we want to say a heartfelt thank you to our amazing patrons. Your support means the world to us. It helps keep us filming, upgrading our gear, and sharing these stories from life aboard the Gidget. As a thank you, our patrons get access to behind-the-scenes updates, live streams, free merchandise, and a few surprises we don't share anywhere else. If you'd like to support the channel and be part of the crew, head over to patreon.com/sailingwithgidget. From all three of us, thank you for keeping this adventure going.